In this podcast episode, Professor Steve Peters, a world-renowned psychiatrist, shares his insights on understanding the human mind and how it impacts performance. With over 30 years of experience, he has worked with elite athletes, including Olympic cyclists and world champions, as well as the England football team, to help them overcome mental barriers and optimize their performance. The primary focus of the podcast is on the mind management model presented in Professor Peters' book, The Chimp Paradox. This model is based on three fundamental forces in the brain: the chimp, the inner human, and the computer. The chimp represents the emotional primal part of the brain that acts subconsciously and without explicit consent. The inner human represents the rational, compassionate, and humane self. The computer serves as the memory bank that stores experiences and beliefs. Professor Peters explains that the chimp and the inner human have different ways of thinking and reacting. The chimp brain is reactive, impulsive, and emotional, while the human brain is rational, logical, and solution-oriented. The computer, located in the center of the brain, stores beliefs and influences decision-making based on those beliefs. He emphasizes the importance of understanding and managing these different parts of the brain to optimize performance. For example, he discusses how individuals with a calm and collected chimp may not experience impulsive reactions, but could be vulnerable in certain situations, such as when traveling or in new environments. On the other hand, individuals with a highly reactive chimp may benefit from intuitive skills, but could also experience restlessness and decision-making challenges. One of the key takeaways from the podcast is the need for individuals to recognize their unique strengths and weaknesses in managing their chimp and inner human. Professor Peters highlights the importance of being in a positive frame of mind and at peace with oneself to enhance performance. He also emphasizes the need to work with the chimp rather than trying to suppress it, as it adds excitement and color to life. Additionally, Professor Peters discusses the role of insight and self-awareness in managing the chimp and the inner human. He shares examples of how individuals can challenge their beliefs and behaviors to improve decision-making and overall well-being. He also emphasizes the importance of common sense and self-evidence in understanding the impact of mindset on daily functioning. The conversation then shifts to the distinction between goblins and gremlins. Goblins are deeply ingrained beliefs or behaviors that are difficult to change, often stemming from early life experiences. These can include issues like trust, self-esteem, and emotional regulation. On the other hand, gremlins are unhelpful beliefs or behaviors that can be addressed and changed with the right approach. Professor Peters provides an example of the fridge door syndrome as a common goblin. This syndrome occurs when a child receives praise and validation based on their achievements, leading them to believe that their worth is tied to their performance. This belief can persist into adulthood and affect one's self-esteem and relationships. Professor Peters emphasizes the importance of recognizing and working with these deeply ingrained beliefs to manage and improve them. Another important concept discussed in the podcast is the idea of values and how they can guide our decision-making and behavior. Professor Peters encourages listeners to align their actions with their values rather than seeking external validation or achievement. He emphasizes the importance of finding peace of mind and fulfillment through living in accordance with one's values. Professor Peters also addresses the role of the chimp in driving motivation and commitment. While the chimp can be a powerful force in setting goals and striving for excellence, it's important to shift to the human mode after achieving a goal. This involves finding perspective, celebrating achievements, and focusing on personal fulfillment rather than external validation. An important concept discussed in the podcast is the distinction between control and management of emotions. Professor Peters highlights the difference between the two, stating that while control implies the ability to dictate emotions, management involves developing skills to influence and regulate emotions. He emphasizes the importance of developing emotional management skills rather than striving for control, as this approach can lead to more effective and sustainable results. Anxiety is another topic discussed in the podcast, with Professor Peters providing insights into the underlying causes of anxiety and strategies for managing it. He explains that anxiety is a message from the chimp to signal that all is not well, and that understanding the beliefs and trigger points behind anxiety is crucial for developing effective coping strategies. He emphasizes the importance of developing a plan and reassurance to address the chimp's need for guarantees and to manage anxiety effectively. Professor Peters emphasizes the importance of identifying and living by one's values. He explains that values are moral stances that guide our actions and decisions. By aligning our behavior with our values, we can experience a sense of fulfillment and peace of mind. He encourages individuals to reflect on their values and take deliberate actions to live by them in their daily lives. The podcast also delves into the relationship between external markers of success, such as wealth and fame, and happiness and fulfillment. While achieving success can certainly contribute to a sense of well-being, Professor Peters highlights that true fulfillment comes from living according to one's values and finding meaning in one's actions. He shares examples of individuals who, despite achieving great success, still struggle with feelings of emptiness and lack of fulfillment. This underscores the importance of looking beyond external achievements and focusing on internal values and purpose. Another important topic discussed in the podcast is the challenge of finding fulfillment after reaching the pinnacle of success. Professor Peters addresses the phenomenon known as gold medal syndrome, where individuals who have achieved great success may struggle to find new sources of fulfillment. He advises individuals to reassess their values and seek new challenges that align with their evolving priorities and aspirations. By embracing new opportunities and redefining their goals, individuals can continue to find fulfillment and purpose in their lives. Throughout the podcast, Professor Peters emphasizes the importance of self-reflection, humor, and flexibility in navigating the journey towards success and fulfillment. He encourages individuals to take the time to understand their values, make deliberate choices that align with those values, and maintain a sense of humor and lightheartedness along the way.